Hey, welcome back. Bulldogs Live with Coach Kirby Smart, and our friends from Piedmont Healthcare are here as our live audience tonight. Folks, give yourselves a hand. Thank you all for being here tonight. Got a rousing ovation when you came in, Coach. That might be a good crowd tonight.
It's a good crowd, man. This is old friends, new friends and old friends.
Yes, Piedmont Healthcare and friends of Piedmont Healthcare tonight. So, again, thank you all for being here tonight. Our show is presented each week by Wells Fargo, an official sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. We're going to do some questions for the coach from social media tonight. Hashtag AskCoachSmart is how you get those to us. And we'll take some audience questions as well. If some of you folks would like to venture up to the microphone, we'll certainly be glad to put you on the air, and you can ask Coach whatever is on your mind. And Coach, what's on your mind this week as you get ready for a big one this weekend?
Big game. Excited for the atmosphere. I mean, I just you want a great home schedule. You get one, and all of a sudden you've got the home schedule we had this year has really been incredible. And I guess two of those three games have been now, and it will be at night. The one that wasn't was at 3:30. So you've gotten kind of a good mixture of kick times, and this is a big one. This is two of the premier programs in the country, top 10 matchup. It's what you come to Georgia for, and I got a lot of respect for Sark, the job they've done, the team he's assembled. He's got a lot of talent, so it's a great matchup.
Your home record as head coach is an astounding record. What makes Sanford Stadium and this town, this whole area, so appealing and so enjoyable to play in to lead to a lot of that success?
I mean, the community supports it, right? The crowd noise and everything. I don't know that it's the stadium or the people. It's the players, right? And the players come because of the stadium and the people, and they want to be tied to the University of Georgia and the people that have come back for many years and done so much to improve Sanford Stadium to make Athens a better game day place. And you think about the atmosphere downtown, the things to do in Athens. Now you've got basketball starting. It brings everybody in together. And when people share a common goal, like an alumnus or fan of Georgia, it makes for a special place. But the players make no mistake about it. They got to go out there on the field and win the game and play the game, and that's what they've done well.
This one has been, I'm sure, circled on a lot of people's calendars for a long time. Texas making its first visit to Athens in this series. You know, how do you guys box out all that outside noise that's been around this game for a long time?
I don't know. There's this game. I mean, there's noise around every game. Every game we play in's big, and I felt that way last week. The week before that with Florida. I mean, they're all big, and we take them one at a time. I mean, we literally do. The kids do. You can't do it any other way. I mean, Sark said it this week. Anybody in the SEC can beat any other team on any given Saturday. So I guess some people just don't believe that's true. As coaches, we know it's true. So you try to get your team prepared every week independent of the previous.
What were your final thoughts on that performance last week in Starkville and the win over Mississippi State?
It was hot. I mean, we caught some tough temperatures. A lot of the kids were talking about it before the game. They didn't expect it to be that hot, and it was humid, and I think it took its toll on both teams, and neither team is like expecting that. But I was proud of the way our guys came out and competed, played. It's probably a closer game than the score indicated. We won that middle eight, and that had a big impact on the game.
Did you like your work this week in preparation for this one?
Yeah, I thought the guys prepared well. I think it's that time of year where, it's wearing on them a little bit, and they're hitting each other a lot, and we're trying to be smart about how we practice. They're coming off an off week, so sometimes that helps to get away and rejuvenate and come back, and our guys are in the grind.
Last conference game of the regular season this weekend, Georgia and Texas. Saturday night, 7:49 is the official kick time, and our coverage will begin at 3:30 Saturday afternoon for Bulldogs football right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. We hope you can join us. When we come back, we'll get to your questions for Coach Smart. Hashtag AskCoachSmart on social media. And as I said earlier, we'll take some audience questions as well. Our friends from Piedmont Healthcare are here tonight. Glad to have you folks in the building. We'll step aside for these words, and we'll come back and get to the coach and your questions right after this on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Welcome back, Bulldogs Live with Georgia head coach Kirby Smart. And thank you for listening tonight as Georgia gets ready for a big one on Saturday, hosting the Texas Longhorns Saturday night, 7:49 kickoff at Sanford Stadium. Bulldogs Live is presented each week by Wells Fargo, an official sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. So let's grab some questions for Coach Kirby Smart. Before we get to the social media stuff, let's get one from our audience. Our friends from Piedmont Healthcare are here, and this is Elizabeth with the first question. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Elizabeth.
What is one thing fans would be surprised to learn about this year's team? Maybe a hidden personality or a behind-the-scenes moment?
Good question. There's so many things that people would love to know about our guys that they probably don't get to see, and I think of them as normal things. I mean, we've got some characters on this team. We've got some interesting guys. Christian Miller is one of those guys that he likes to break the team down before we go to practice, and he says some really interesting things to motivate the team. He has interesting motivation tactics, so I always get a laugh and a kick out of his. We've got some like Cash Jones is a guy that he does a tremendous job with morale in terms of he's been here 5 years now, and all the guys on the team love him. And Gunner, you know, I mean, there's some good personalities. I don't know that I can say anything that's different about this team that really sticks out to me. I mean, the fact that they love to practice and that every day we give them 10 minutes to go after meetings. They get 10 minutes to go to put on their pads, get their shoes on, get everything ready, and come out. And there hadn't been a day that they weren't all out there ready to go with, you know, a minute and a half still on the clock. There's been, you know, years we had to go in the locker room and flush them out. They're out there and they're ready to go, and I appreciate about this team.
Elizabeth, thanks for the question. We appreciate it. Kirby, I was looking through the basketball media guide recently, and on the bio pages of each player, they have like a Q&A on the side of the page, and you know, it's just personal type questions and stuff. And one of the questions is, you know, what do you like the most about basketball, and what do you like the least about it? And just about to a man on that team, everyone said the thing they like the least is conditioning.
Yeah.
Conditioning. But you just said your guys like practicing.
Well, they get their own time. They don't love practicing, but they know they got to go work. Let me tell you what they hate. They like the least, conditioning. And we do that like 2 days a week. And the first thing they do is they get the little practice schedule, and they're like, we got conditioning today. We got conditioning. Oh, we got conditioning today. And I'm like, well, guys, like that's what makes us different. You know, we actually do it, and we're good at it. So there's some of that going on for sure. But it's the part about getting out there to practice, getting ready to go, and getting started that I appreciate.
And I think you even pointed that out after the last game last week. Didn't you say something like in the post game about the strength and conditioning staff that got the team ready for that game against State?
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it. I think the conditioning level of our team, not just strength, but the fact that they were in shape and able to push through that heat and push our guys.
Let's go to the social questions. Hashtag Ask Coach Smart. Let's see. Dale in Athens, Georgia. How fired up are you to be back between the hedges this week? It has been a while.
It's been a while. It's great anytime you get to play in front of that home atmosphere, and you know, you force a little bit of anxiety on the other unit. The communication gets a little harder. I get nervous at home about our defense because we've had some busts in communication because it is loud. And so it's, you know, we're a very communicative defense, and a lot of checks go on. And when you do that at home, it scares me in terms of communicating. But the offense has got to deal with it too, and it gives our offense an advantage in that we don't have to worry about timing motions, not being able to hear a check. And so it's nice to be more comfortable at home, and you get a little bit more of a playbook advantage.
And no cowbells.
And no cowbells, that too. I never heard any cowbells. So
you didn't hear any last week?
Absolutely not. I don't ever hear them. You only hear them if you acknowledge them.
We had one in the booth with us. That wasn't my plan, but that's the way it turned out. Let's see. Ron in Atlanta, do you like the way Nate Frazier is running the rock right now?
Yeah, I loved it the other day. I mean, he was getting through the whole untouched, and those are my favorite kind of runs. Because you know what happens when you have holes with nobody touching you through. I mean, runs with nobody touching you through the hole. It doesn't matter who the running back is; they get those yards. And there were some well blocked schemed up things in there, and he did a great job making one guy miss and taking a 10, 15 yard and make it into a 50, 60-yard run. But there's a lot of credit goes to the tight ends and the O-line.
You had a few guys making those kind of explosive plays last week.
Yeah, it's big when you can run the ball like that. It allows you to do what you want to do offensively. It's just not that easy very often.
Let's see. You mentioned the tight ends. Let's grab a question about that. Travis in Columbus, Georgia. From a scheme standpoint, what are the strengths of involving the tight ends?
What are the strengths of involving the tight ends? I mean, I think number one strength of involving the tight ends is they get a little less tight coverage. So you like to give easy throws for your quarterback. You also like to throw the ball to people that are explosive and break tackles, and our tight ends are proving that they can do that. I thought Oscar had a big game last week in terms of yards after catch and in terms of blocking. So he and Lawson, Elias had a huge play. So when you look across the board, our tight ends are playing better and better.
How is Lawson, by the way?
Seems good. It's good. Practice this week.
Excellent, excellent. All right, Travis, thanks for that question. We appreciate them. You can send those in on social anytime, #AskCoachSmart, and we could use your question here on the show. We'll get to some more of those and some more audience questions as well for Coach Kirby Smart as the Dogs get ready for Texas this week. Our friends from Piedmont Healthcare are our guest audience tonight, so we'll hear from them when we come back. We'll take a timeout. More Bulldogs Live in a moment on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Dog fans, be sure to check out the G-Shop at GeorgiaDogs.com for exclusive releases of Nike Game Day official apparel just like the coaches wear. Visit GeorgiaDogs.com and the G-Shop today. Bulldogs Live presented by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is an official sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. And welcome back. More questions for Coach Kirby Smart leading into the Texas matchup this weekend. 7:49 for the kickoff. 3:30 airtime for our coverage here on the Bulldog Sports Network. And our next question comes from our friends from Piedmont Healthcare, our audience tonight. And this is Carl with a question for Coach. Carl, good to see you. Go ahead with your question.
Thank you. Kirby, former Georgia players are doing great in the NFL. What does that say about our program, and how does it help in recruiting?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, every Sunday I get texts and I get pictures and the Monday night games. I mean, it's incredible how many of our guys are playing, and it's hard to keep up with actually because you have so many. But our staff does a good job in team meeting settings. They'll play highlights of the guys' special teams plays. So every week I get a chance in special teams meeting to see Chaz Chambliss, Smile Munden, Ben Urashek, and these kids are out there playing. They're not the superstars, but they're playing on special teams for other teams, and that helps us in recruiting because the kids that's what they want to do. They want an opportunity to go to the NFL, and they see pictures and they see highlights of these guys playing. And I think we're up to second or third in terms of NFL rosters, in terms of having dogs on NFL rosters, which is really cool.
Carl, thanks for your question. Thank you for being here tonight. Kirby, we had a question on our social list about that. Steve in Hartwell wanted to know your opinion. He says, how cool was it the other night to see the Packers and the Eagles? He says most of the guys on the fields were dogs.
Yeah, it was cool.
I think there were 12 players between the two teams from Georgia.
I didn't get to see one bit of it, but everybody was talking about it. I saw pictures, and I mean, it's special when those two teams particularly, because there's a lot of them there, and it seems like a lot of defensive guys and a lot of recent guys that just played. So proud of those guys, man. I hope they're able to have long, great careers and do well and financially and save their money and take care of their families because they've sacrificed a lot to be able to play this game.
Let's run through the list from that game. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Nolan Smith made his return from injury. Keely Ringo, Smile Munden, Quay Walker, Javon Bullard, Devontae Wyatt, Warren Brinson, Nazir Stackhouse, John Fitzpatrick. Those guys were they were a big part of some championships here.
Yes, they were. They were very good football players, and they're very successful NFL guys. I'm proud of them.
Thanks for that question, Steve, and to Carl, too. Let's see. Todd in Savannah, how rewarding is it to see Noah Thomas get in the end zone the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, that's awesome for him. He's worked so hard. He's been so patient. He competes every day. He gets better. I've never seen a kid with like that kind of just spirit. There's games that I'll never forget. The Ole Miss game, he's running around cheering on the kickoff team, and then we're in the defensive huddle out there trying to stop him, and he's cheering on the defensive team. And I'm like, man, this guy's like he's cheering on everybody to have success, and he's enjoying their success.
Is that one of the things that kind of led him to coming here, or led this program to wanting him to be here? Just that attitude.
I didn't know that he had that attitude. I can't say that. We recruited him and got to know him during that portal process, but had no idea what we were getting in terms of the character, the effort, the commitment to the team, and Coach Coley spoke highly of him. But everything that he has said has come to reality.
He's one of several Texas players that you have on the roster too. Does that come up this week for this game? Is this a big, important game for those guys just because of where they're from?
I'm sure it is. They know a lot of those guys. They competed against those guys, and it matters to them a little more when they're from that state. Dylan Bell's in that group too.
Jonathan in Athens wants to know if you've had any communication with Coach Sark this week.
No, we hadn't discussed anything this week. I think we both got our hands full with good teams, so there's been no communication.
Paul in Watkinsville, Georgia. This might be an easy one for you. How tall is Elias Williams?
I don't know. They crack jokes all the time about that. I mean, they all say the 6'7" joke, so they say he's 6'7", and I don't really get it, but he's tall.
You don't get the 6'7".
Oh, my kids get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, he went up and got that ball in Starkville last week. I mean,
Yes,
as you
he
pointed out
did.
earlier, made a tremendous play on that ball, on that pass, and came down with it and landed hard. And
He hung on to it.
that was a big moment.
Big
And then I
play in the game.
think on that same possession, he had a key block right there on the goal line to
He did.
get Chauncey in the end zone. So good stuff from Elias Williams. It's fun watching him grow and develop here in his first season as a Bulldog. Let's see, Bennett in Marietta, Georgia. Does it concern you that Texas had an extra week of prep heading into this week's game?
Like I've said before, there's a lot of things that concern me, and very few of them can I control, and that's one I definitely cannot control. So I try not to waste my concern space on things that I can't control, and there is a lot of wasted worry, and I don't need to worry about that.
Bennett, thanks for the question. We appreciate it. Hashtag Ask Coach Smart is how you can get them to us on social media, and we'll get to some more of these that you have sent in, and we'll take some more audience questions as well. It's Georgia and Texas Saturday night at 7:49. That's the kick time at Sanford Stadium. Our coverage starts at 3:30 Saturday afternoon here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. We'll step aside for just a moment, come back for more of your questions for Coach right after this on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Continues its 5-game homestand to begin the season when the 3-0 Bulldogs host rival Georgia Tech tomorrow night at Stegman Coliseum. Tip time is 9 o'clock. Airtime for Bulldogs basketball set for 8:35 here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Georgia and Georgia Tech tomorrow night. Then on Monday, Georgia will entertain Florida A&M, a 6:30 start at Stegman Coliseum. That's Monday, November 17th for the Bulldogs and the Rattlers. For ticket information, call the Bulldog Ticket Office, 706-542-1231, or go to georgiadogs.com and follow Bulldogs basketball all season right here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Glad to have you back here on Bulldogs Live, presented each week by Wells Fargo, an official sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. And let's take another question from our audience. Our friends from Piedmont Healthcare are here tonight. And this is it Delana? Delina, okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey.
welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Scott. Hey, Coach.
Hey, Delina.
All right. If we were building a Mount Rushmore of the Dogs, which former 4 players would you put on it and why?
Man.
Yeah.
Do I have to go like way back, or can it be like it has to go all the years included?
All the years, but this is your show, so whatever
right.
you want to do.
Man, that's so hard. So unfair question because how many do I get in Mount Rushmore?
4.
That's all I get.
That's it.
Is that all Rushmore is?
That's it. I'm gonna throw the
Can
flag.
I share?
Yep, you're about to get a flag.
Oh man. I'll go.
You know, whoever you don't pick is gonna
Yeah.
text you and be
So
really
why would
mad.
you do that? That's not fair. I think I would go.
How about 4 for the week? This week's 4.
Oh, okay. This week. I can change next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That way.
Let's go Stetson Bennett because he won the national championships and he was a quarterback. Let's
Okay.
go Trevon Walker because he was picked number 1 overall.
Okay.
All right. Let's go N'Kobe Dean because he was one of the best leaders to ever do it. And then they would share one spot between Nick and Sony. So
Okay.
they would because they're so close friends. They would just like have half heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Great answer. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks.
That is good stuff. Okay, now let's go back and encompass everything.
I don't want to do that either because I'll forget somebody way, way back. I'll just go back to my favorites and go to Jake Scott, Scott Warner, some of the guys that played that I grew up watching and saw the interceptions they made. Those were the guys that I enjoyed watching. They were back there playing DB. And Ben Smith. They had some really good players back in the day that I enjoyed watching and getting to see play. But some of the ones I played with, Champ, he would be on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's 4.
Yeah.
All defensive backs, too.
That's good ones.
All right, good stuff. Thank you for that question. We appreciate it. Hey, something coming up that you guys are doing and y'all are involved in, if you don't mind, talking about it a little bit, is the Dogs for Pups Season of Giving food drive.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Our guys have created a community give back, and it started back in 2020 during COVID. They wanted a way to impact our community, and they felt like creating this group, Dogs for Pups, would be awesome. And a lot of the kids, a lot of the players have given their time. They go to local Boys and Girls Clubs. They do different things, but this is a food drive, and I think you've got the dates right there and the timeline. But they're going to be open to giving food to the Northeast Georgia Food Bank.
Yes.
And they're doing things for the food drive there. And our players are it's really important. It's one of the passions they have to give back to the local community.
It's the Dogs for Pups Community Engagement Initiative. The University of Georgia football team invites all of the Dog Nation to join them for a season of giving food drive in collaboration with the Food Bank of Northeast Georgia. During the drive, they'll be collecting non-perishable food items to support the community members who are in need. Additionally, monetary donations can be made by visiting Food Bank Northeast Georgia. That's foodbanknega.org. And the dates are, it's already underway through November 21st. Non-perishable food items accepted at the Buttsmere Heritage Hall Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can find out a lot of these food items that are needed most. But your help and generosity is greatly appreciated. And there you go. Dogs for Pups, Season of Giving food drive, and that's going on as we speak. All right, let's grab some more questions for Coach Kirby Smart here from the hashtag Ask Coach Smart social media list. Chip in Birmingham, Alabama wants to know, Coach, although our offensive line has some youth, do you feel like they're growing up fast and playing hard?
Yeah, I mean, there is youth there because you've got the 2 freshmen. But when you look across the board at Micah, Monroe, Ernest, and Drew Bobo, they have played a lot of football. They have been to a lot of practices at UGA. And usually good teams have people that have been in your program for a while. And we're very fortunate to have that kind of cohesive group. And then we've got a little bit of influx of freshmen who've given us depth. And those guys play well around each other. And we've got to stay healthy, but those guys have been playing good.
Is there any other group on the team that where you mentioned unity so much in the involvement of their success as the offensive line? It seems like, that's the one position group on the field where you want all those guys to be friends. You want all those guys to get along and hang out together and spend that time and that camaraderie together.
Yeah, it's really important. I think that's obviously the most unique position. Defensive line is right there with them. They work together. There's fewer of them on the field, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, and then defensive backs have really got to work well together. They got to communicate together. They share responsibilities, and there's usually 5 of them out there.
Jordan in Royston, Georgia, asks, do you feel like Mississippi State was the most complete game we've played all year?
I don't know if that's the case or not. I know it was probably the most lopsided, but I don't know if it was the most complete. I think we've played more in spurts. We've played better against better competition, and there was some good within that game, but there was also a lot of things to be improved. It was sloppy at times, sloppy because of the pace of play and sloppy because of the temperature.
Jordan, thanks for the question. We appreciate it. This is Bulldogs Live with Coach Kirby Smart, presented each week by Wells Fargo, an official sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll come back for more questions for the coach in just a moment. We'll take a timeout right now here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Thanks for being here tonight, and don't forget, coming up in just about 15 minutes or so, we'll turn it over to Neil Williamson and the Bulldogs All-Stars, another hour of Bulldogs football talk. They'll take your questions at the top of the hour and take you right up until 9 o'clock to get you ready for this weekend, Georgia and Texas. Also a reminder, the reigning ACM Artist of the Decade, Jason Aldean, and 5-time Entertainer of the Year, Luke Bryan, are teaming up to play Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium on April 25th, 2026. For tickets, you can head on over to georgiadogs.com. It's the Live Between the Hedges concert series presented by Pruitt Health, and we will see you there. Questions for Coach Kirby Smart. We are going to take one from our audience now. Our friends from Piedmont Healthcare are here, and this is Connor with a question for the coach. Hi, Connor.
Hey, guys. Coach, what is one cultural standard or behavior that you're developing today that will help define the program long after this roster has moved on?
Oh, that's a good one. I think the core DNA traits that we have and the mindset that we approach, like it is a huge deal here to understand process over results. So many of our kids come into the program and they're results oriented, and that's all they think about. And we preach process over results, and most kids come in and can't tell you what that actually means. They struggle to say, like, what do you mean process over results? Until we literally teach them word by word, meeting by meeting, skull session by skull session. We make them recite the DNA traits, and then we start getting into the weeds of what does process over results look like. Okay, give me an example. Okay, I make the play, but I did it the wrong way. For them, they're happy they made the play. The defensive back knocked the ball down, but he didn't take the right approach to it, and it could have cost him a big play. He didn't do the process right, and they really have a hard time with that because they're so result-oriented. And that trait, that cultural trait of, look, we're going to be about the process, not the result. Last week, the result was good, but they were thinking the process that we didn't do right, and we've got to improve that if we want to be the team we're capable of being. So I would probably say that cultural trait of process over result is what is going to carry on for many years to come, or at least we hope so. Yeah.
Connor, thanks for your question. Thank you for being here tonight. Andrew in Atlanta has a question on the social platforms, #AskCoachSmart. He wants to know, what is this Texas defense doing well, and how can we attack them?
Well, it's complicated. They do a lot well. They strike blockers. They play blocks. They don't do a lot of complicated things, and those are the teams that scare you. Because, when you make it complicated and you make mistakes, you can find weak links. You can attack them. They are very well coached. Well, we played them twice, and both times they're hard to find kinks in the armor. If you remember the first time, we scored some points, but it was because of turnovers. We gave our offense really good field possession. We had 2 turnovers where they got points just by getting the ball. And this defense is stingy. They get a lot of turnovers, and they don't miss many tackles. So they're good defensively, and it's not because of doing a lot of scheme.
That's our look ahead with Coach Kirby Smart, brought to you by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. The penalty for getting a DUI can cost up to $10,000. That's why the Governor's Office of Highway Safety says drive sober so you won't get pulled over. Mindy in Winder, Georgia, has the next question. How do you keep practice engaging at this point in the year, and does it ever feel like Groundhog Day to you?
Yeah, it does, and I hate that. It's my biggest pet peeve is boring, mundane, Groundhog Day feeling, and I know these players feel it. We have tried to be creative. I've called a lot of people and thought, how do I change it up? I talked to other head coaches, change in location, where we flex every day, how we do walk through. Do we walk through first and then go put pads on? Do we put pads on then walk through? I mean, we try to really change it up, and I probably don't change it enough. But I think when I sense them getting, I don't know, complacent's not the word, sick of it, and just bored with the little simple things, I try to find another way to prove to them that do simple better works. And if you can out-execute people and do the simple things, I mean, you're just trying to do tasks that most people don't take the time to do. And if you do simple tasks well, you'll be a good football player.
Is there a lot of team building exercises outside of practice that you guys employ at all?
Not a lot. I mean, the team building exercises happen in the meetings in the off season. We build our team in the off season. In the season, it's a lot of recovery, a lot of lifting, a lot of maintenance, physical side. The physical side, the mental side, is so draining in season that we don't. We do the team building we do is usually Thursday and Friday nights.
Georgia and Texas Saturday night, Sanford Stadium under the lights, 7:49 official kick time. 3:30 is the airtime for our coverage of Bulldogs football here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. We've got one more segment with Coach Smart. And a reminder, if you're looking to elevate your game day experience, visit ugaexperiences.com to purchase experiences like being the tee retriever for a game or getting your photo taken with Uga on the field. Experiences available now for the remaining home games, and there's only a couple of those left. That's ugaexperiences.com. This is Bulldogs Live with Coach Kirby Smart. We'll step aside for just a moment, come back one final segment with the coach right after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Back here with Coach Kirby Smart, one final segment here in this hour, and we'll turn it over to the Bulldogs All-Stars coming up in hour number 2. And before we get to our final question for the coach, where is Debbie Smith? Debbie. Hey, Debbie, happy birthday. Yes. Nice round of applause for Debbie Smith. And thank you for spending your birthday here with us here on Bulldogs Live.
And happy retirement. Soon.
That's better than the birthday, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Neil, who has our final question from our audience here. Neil, welcome to the show, and go ahead with your question.
Thank you. Coach, when you look back 20 years from now, what lesson would you want every player that wore the red and black to say they learned from you?
Hard work works. I preach it all the time, and there's a lot of things that I hope we pass on and impart to these players, but I want them to come back and tell their kids and their kids' kids and the players on our roster in the future that it was really hard and that it paid off. Like I carried that with me, that if I'm willing to outwork someone, get up every day, do the labor, do the hard work, that it will work and you'll be successful. And I don't know what field that's going to be in for each one of them, and each one of them may be different. But it's not going to be easy in the real world. You guys know that probably better than our players, and that's my biggest fear, is that they leave thinking it's going to be easy, and there is nothing easy out there. So appreciate it, Neil.
Neil, thank you very much. Coach, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend. Big one
Yes.
against Texas, but as you said, they're all big, so
They're all big.
let's go get another one.
Go Dogs. You enjoy it.